channel. Today we're going to be combining the corn for a couple of reasons. One, some of the grains will be sold. Grain will also produce feed for our sheep flock. The ewes get fed about a pound a day for about 8 weeks during breeding. And we're lambing, they'll also be fed corn again. Create a corn barley mixture of creep feed for the lambs. This past season we grew a mixed grains which consisted of oats, barley and peas, and that's what we fed to the lambs instead. Another advantage to having corn in the field at home with fences around it is that we have the ability to now put the cows into the pasture and they will graze the corn stalks that have been harvested. One of the reasons as to why we do that is that well, it's a source of feed for them. It reduces our cost of feed for the beef cattle, and it also eliminates having to feed hay to the cows while they're eating the corn stalks. So it cuts our costs. It is a natural way to fertilize the field, and it just makes for multiple uses of the space that we have. We're only a small farm of a few hundred acres, and this is a way that we're able to get the most from our land. A second field this evening and unloaded some corn at the local elevator, and it's coming off at 22% moisture, and that's a little bit too wet for storing. Therefore we're going to be having to dry it. So we're going to go right now and unload some more corn at the elevator, and we'll show you what it looks like over there. So in order to sell corn, it's got to be dried to 15.5% moisture, and this is the elevator where we're going to unload and have it dried, and it'll be sold from here. We'll keep about 35 ton for our sheep, and we can store it here until we need to transfer it over to the sheep operation, and then we can store it on site there. And in order to store it in our bin, it can be about 15.5, 16% moisture. Otherwise, it could mold. Now we're going to change from hauling with a buggy to this here. We'll be able to dump 3 times the quantity before having to come to the elevator and unload. So it's going to be much more effective. This would be the corn fines. Corn fines can also be fed to cattle. Some issues that we deal with when we're hauling grain to the elevator is all the other local farmers are doing the same thing, so we get a congestion at the unloading spots. So they can only take so much at a time. It's all got to be dried and it's all got to be handled. So this is one of the biggest reasons as to why we decided to switch the format in which we're going to haul from the buggies to the big truck. It allows for less trips and therefore less time required. The boys will still fill both the wagons and the truck, but hopefully what happens is that we finish harvesting the corn you know, within the next week or two. That would be ideal, because we are pushing December, and ideally the month of December will involve cutting more wood again and preparing for next winter. Wood, we need wood for heating our house, and we also need wood for the maple syrup operation that we have. The cattle have been in this pasture for the last 4 days. There's still lots of corn stalks for them to be grazing on. We have about 40 acres of fenced pasture that is also grown into corn this year, and therefore they have about 40 acres of corn stalks to graze. We will start feeding them hay as well, so that they have access to both hay and the corn stalks, but this is basically what they're eating until either the weather changes, it gets too wet. Once it gets wet, it starts getting knocked down. Once it gets knocked down, they stop eating it. It also acts as bedding. Right now the weather is it's below zero. It's a little bit chilly in the air, but it's nice and dry. Had a couple of days of nice dry weather. Hopefully it keeps up like this for another couple of weeks would be ideal. Had a hard time getting the crop off this year because of the amount of rain we've had. All right, thanks for watching. See you in the next video.